Alright everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of SV Ugly Duck. Today I'm going to work on the engine. Now, my buddy and I picked up this engine off of Craigslist. The guy said that it had trouble spitting out water and he thinks it was something down below. I forget what the whole situation was, so I'm just going to go over everything, check it out, and see what I can do to get it running. It's a pretty decent engine. It's a 9.8. It's a 2-stroke, so it's not incredibly great, but yeah. So let's get started. So unfortunately, sometimes this happens when you get stuff off Craigslist, especially for cheap, and it looks like a deal. You gotta check everything. So tried back flushing the water through to see if it was gonna come out. I thought maybe it was just a little clogged. Water came pouring out the side, the gasket is, and out of the spark plug area. So this is far different from just a little bit of a problem down there. I don't even know. I haven't even gotten that far, so who knows what's going on down there that he was talking about, or if he was just lying about the whole thing. But right now I think I'm just gonna start taking this apart and see how bad it is. So I'm fairly new to engines and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure that stuff is not good to have in there. It looks like sand and salt, so it might not necessarily be corrosion, but I know it's not good. So I think what was going on was when I was seeing that water leak through, it wasn't actually coming out of the pistons. I think it was actually leaking from around the gasket, because I think this gasket was just awful. I mean, you can kind of see it actually looks like it was maybe some stuff was added to it instead of replacing it. I'm not real sure, so I think I'm going to go based on that. I'm going to have to get a new gasket, which really sucks because I wanted to use this weekend. And I'm going to clean all that crap out of there and then continue on. So because I would like to try and use it this weekend, I'm going to try and clean up the gasket on here. This was definitely a custom job. I don't know if you can tell from that, from the picture, but it's like one of those cloth gaskets, and then it looks like somebody added something on top of it. Doesn't look like RTV, because RTV is usually red. I don't know, maybe there's different colors of RTV, I'm not real sure. But either way, this is definitely a custom job of some kind. So I'm going to try and clean all this off, and in order to use it this weekend I would have to use RTV because I can't order a gasket and get it that quick. So I may actually do that just as a temporary fix, but I'm not real sure yet. I want to see. Plus, it'll give me an opportunity to test the rest of it, because right now I've gotten one step into it and it's already failed. So who knows what else is going on with this thing? So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a temporary fix going for it, and if it works, maybe I'll use it. If it doesn't, then I will probably just continue fixing it and eventually just order the gasket afterwards. What really bothers me is this guy could have told us about this and we might have still picked it up from him. I don't know if we would have wanted to pay as much as we did to get it. Even so, if this is the only problem, it's still worth what we paid. I believe about $150. In my opinion, anyway. It's just I expect to have to put a little bit of work into things, but I just hate when you get something from somebody and they're not truthful to you about what the problem is, and then you spend all this time having to track it down and trace it down and find out what's going on. I mean, according to this guy, he had a mechanic look at it and said there was a problem with the lower unit. Either the mechanic sucked, or this guy's lying, or I don't know, maybe he didn't have the mechanic look at it, but still, that's a lie in its own. Or maybe the mechanic told him what was actually wrong with it, and that he had to dig more into it. But I mean, either way, didn't get the whole story. Definitely didn't get the whole story, and I'm not happy about it, because I just wish people would be more truthful. But everybody's out to make a buck, Nobody really wants to do anything to make that buck, Being dishonest to people, lately being dishonest to people seems like the easiest way to make a buck. Rip somebody else off, So, here I am, cleaning this up, and basically starting fresh on this thing to find out everything that's wrong with it, because at this point I can't trust what the guy said. So I decided to just so I can test this and possibly use it this weekend, which I'm a little doubtful, but anyway, I'm gonna use this gasket maker, the RTV silicone. It works pretty good. This isn't going to be a permanent fix, but it'll at least get me to the next step, and eventually I am going to order the gasket for this and do it correctly. But it's nice and clean now, so I think I'm good to go. But this has got to sit for like 24 hours anyway. So before I start pushing water through it, I'm going to make sure this sits. And I may actually take apart the bottom, the lower part, the lower unit, just to get an idea of what's going on down there, because he did say something's going on down there. I'm not really sure if he's just lying or if there was something going on down there, and this is just an entirely different issue. So we'll see. Alright, so I just did the back flush this time, and this time I didn't see any water leaking out, so I think we're good. Next I'm going to connect the fuel line and attempt to get it running. But that connector is not going to work. So, should I take it off? Now, because I'm not going to connect it to the tank that takes this connector just yet, because I'm still testing some other things out, I'm going to take this off too. It'll be really easy to just put a hose clamp on there later. Alright, so after cleaning the carb, I was able to get it to start, so now that the camera's running it probably won't, but let's give it a shot. Freaking awesome. Alright, if you saw one of my first videos, which actually may have been the first video, you recognize this. This is the engine mount that was attached to Ugly Duck when I first got her, and I just cut it off to get it out of the way. Knew I wasn't going to be using it for a while, so I'm actually going to use this first for Serenity. Same with the engine, but I still got to get it put together. I got to get a board on there so that the engine can mount on it, and then I got to get new bolts to mount it on either boat. So for right now I'm going with Serenity, but in the meantime I'm going to fix this up so that it'll be ready to go. Okay, so it's all done. You see there's a good amount of corrosion in there. I'm not 100% sure what I can do about that to necessarily stop it or fill it. I guess I could use some fiberglass filler in there. Anyway, for right now, it looks like it's pretty good. I should probably clean up that side a little bit more, but it's usable. Now we just have to put the lower unit back on. Hopefully she'll suck water up, because I didn't check the impeller. It's really easy to get to, so I'm not going to worry about it. If it doesn't suck water up, I can't use it tomorrow. It doesn't matter if it's bad or not at this point, because if it's bad, or it doesn't matter if it's bad at this point, because if it is bad, then I gotta order one, and I'm not gonna be able to get it tomorrow anyway. So. Well, I finally got it in there. For the most part, I just gotta tighten everything down. Alright everybody, so the engine works. It's not 100%, and I actually had to do a couple more modifications after the video. Actually, my buddy Al did the modifications because I couldn't figure out what was going on. Basically, it would not start in neutral, but it would start in forward or reverse, and even then it was real flaky. So I did take it out on Serenity, but I didn't get very far with it because I'd mounted it wrong, plus the gear shifting thing was very confusing. So we ended up going for a sail anyway. Ton of other issues happened, big debacle, but it was super fun still. I wrote a post about it in my blog below. I'll link it below, so make sure you check that out. But otherwise, like I said, it was good fun. So now I'm going to move back on to doing more sanding and painting, which I'm not going to show you because I'm sure you've seen enough of that. And then there will be more videos coming soon of doing things like the inside, the rigging, and everything else. So anyway, thanks for watching, and check back. Thank you.